Yogah Karmasu Kaushalam.
Our discussion on teaching reading skills will be incomplete without the brief overview about web resources available to develop reading skills. Interactive blog is the most powerful web tool to develop reading fluency among L2 learners. The teacher writes some important passages on educational blog where the learners are invited to make comments on reading, and they are also able to see what others have to say. This can help the learners to think more deeply about their own answers. The young learners like to read the stories. The teacher can grab this opportunity to develop the reading fluency through digital storytelling web tools like ACMI Generator, Bubbler, Capgels, Comic Master, etc.
Hello everyone, and welcome to a tutorial of Comic Master. Now, this website is www.comicmaster.org.uk/, and what this website is a comic website. You can make your own comics or comic strip, whatever you like to call it. Let's get started. Alright, there you go. So, what you could do is you can make your own graphic novel by adding backgrounds, characters, props, dialogue, special effects, and once you're all done with it, you can save it or print it out and share it with your friends and family. Okay, let's get started. Alright, so this is the page of how you start it. And we're going to start by adding rows. You can have 4 rows, 3 rows, 2 rows. Oops. Sorry. Or 1 row. And there's different sizes to them. I keep pressing that button. I'm not done with it yet. Alright. Or you can just have a pre-made one. So what I'm gonna do, just click and drag. And that's pretty much it. And once you're done setting up your rows, click done. And then you get to this page. Now there's backgrounds, characters, speech, thought, captions, specials, special effects, and props. So what I'm gonna do is add a background first. Like to have a character set in a place. Just click and drag. And I'm not gonna fill up this whole entire space because I did use this website before I started this video, and it took me a while, about 30-40 minutes, to add backgrounds, add all the characters and the captions and stuff. So this does take a little while, so it'll be good for a 50-minute class for an assignment for kids. And what you can do is you can either tilt it, have it in a Dutch angle. Now, or you can expand or shrink your setting just by clicking these arrows and moving it. And then you could drag it wherever you want. I'm gonna put it right there. There you go. Now once you're done with that, click the menu, and then you can use other stuff. So pretty much what you're doing for this whole thing is that you just click onto something, go to whatever you like, what characters you like, or something, and then you click onto page, and whichever whatever you like, just click, drag, click them again, change their size. Or tilt them. That's pretty much about it. Alright, so the difference between speech, font, and captions are speech. What speech does is that it's what the character is saying out loud, what they're talking to somebody else. So this is what they look like. So if you want your character to talk out loud, this is what you use. For fonts, it's what a character is thinking. Is thinking inside their head. And they look like clouds. So that's usually what a thought bubble looks like. And captions are boxes. They're used for like when a narrator is trying to explain to the reader what's going on. And that's pretty much about it. So all you do is that you click onto something that you like and just click, drag if you want to expand or tilt it. There you go. And there you go. So if you want to add some text, like words in there, what you do is that you click on the bubble, then you go to edit, and then click delete the extra words and say whatever you want. Alright, and then once you're done, you click OK. Check in my spelling. That's another thing to do is check for spelling. Don't want to make spelling errors. Okay. And that's pretty much about it for that. And then for special and props, same thing. See something you like, and then click and drag. There you go. And for props, click and drag. Now, what you can tell is that that the pictures and the captions are overlapping one another. So so make sure you know what characters you want to be placed and stuff before. Like if you want the hair to not be blocked by this caption bubble, you should add the caption bubble first and then the character. And if you want to delete your mistake, just click on this and there's an X button, delete, and it gets rid of it. That's pretty much it. And then once you're finished making your page, you can save it by using your login account on this website. And if you want to, you can print it out and send it to your friends and family. Now, what I like about this website, it's good for elementary kids. Helps encourage them how to make their own stories, how learn narrative writing, even if it isn't a comic. And it also encourages creativity. And it can also be used as an art, for an art class as well. All right. Oh yeah, if you want to, there's this little music up here that it plays music. So here's hop, hip hop, hard house, drum and bass, that'll, and it repeats the cycle again. So if you want your comic to have music, that's all you have to do. You just have to click it and it'll play. And if just move on to the next or back if you want to change it to different settings.
Another important web tool is WebQuest. It is the ready-made platform for the teachers where the teachers can create their own reading modules or use the ready-made modules available on the site.
Hi, and welcome to WebQuest 101. This is the first part of several movies that will teach you about what a WebQuest is, why we make them, and how to make them. To begin, I'd like to talk about what a WebQuest is. You may know already, but if you don't, a WebQuest is an inquiry-oriented project. It's set in the web so that students can go out and answer questions, important questions about your content area, by using the internet as a resource of information and knowledge. The challenge for you as a teacher, then, is to provide your students with the resources they will need to successfully go out to the internet and answer these deep, meaningful questions about your content area. Are you up for the challenge? I think you are. Let's take a minute and look a little bit deeper at what WebQuests are and what they look like. WebQuests are all built primarily in the same way. They all start off with an introduction of some sort that leads to the task that students need to complete, and then finally the process for completing it. It's in the process that you get to include things like worksheets and guides and instructions, and even hyperlinks to resources so that students can successfully meet the tasks that you've set out for them. Of course, you'll need an evaluation that tells students how you'll be assessing them and how you'll be grading them and what they need to do to successfully complete your project, and then a conclusion that lets them know if they were on the right track and what they can do in the future to extend the activity or learn more about it. At this point in time, your best bet is to go and look at some of these. Go to webquest.org and select Find WebQuests. Do a quick search for a topic that you're interested in and look at a couple of WebQuests. When you're done, come on back to the second part of the series and learn how to make your WebQuest. Good luck!
Most of the learners have the problems in reading speed. They can improve their reading speed with the help of some online tools like zapreader.com or speedreading.com. There are numerous tools available, but these are some important tools. Finally, I would like to conclude my presentation with some important classroom tips that will help you to make your language classroom interactive. The language teachers should share what he or she is reading why it is interesting and what other types of reading can be beneficial. The language teacher should encourage and appreciate the students for sharing what they are reading and why that reading appears interesting to them. Teachers should find out what interest students have and then be on the lookout for related readings to share with those students. Teachers should work toward promoting the development of group cohesiveness. A cohesive community of learners can support each other with challenging reading tasks. Teacher should increase students' expectancy of success by devising reading tasks that will lead to success. Teachers should devise good leads-ins for major text and associated reading tasks to build initial interest. Students become motivated when student skills are matched with appropriate challenges. Teachers, whenever possible, should guide students in building real levels of expertise in reading topics. Finally, I am very thankful to all of you for spending your valuable time with me. I hope that this module will help you to improve the reading skills of the learners. Thank you very much.
Dr. Raval, I thank you very much for your interesting deliberations on teaching reading. Reading is something which is very important for the generation. What we see nowadays is that reading is missing in terms of books. But yes, our students are reading a lot. They are reading a lot of WhatsApp messages. They are reading a lot on various other social medias and platforms. But yes, reading is an art in some way, and I guess reading is to be taught in different ways. And you have very interestingly talked about it. Now, on behalf of our participants, that means our fellow assistant, associate professors and professors, I have few things to discuss.
Yes.
So I would like to pose one or two things to you, which I guess most of our participants and friends will have in their mind. Friends, on behalf of you, as you cannot ask on video directly, I am asking you few of the things. First thing which comes to my mind is, what are the major difficulties that the learner face in reading? So when they read, what are the major difficulties which learners face, and how can we teach our students to overcome those difficulties?
That's a really interesting question. As a teacher, I would like to talk about second language learners. The first thing that I observe that the learners are having limited vocabulary. At the same time, they are unable to understand the relations among different sentences.
True.
Moreover, they are unable to understand different sentence patterns. This is my experience as a teacher. Moreover, they are less exposed to different kinds of reading material.
Yes.
These are the major challenges that I observe in the language classroom.
True. So I guess, friends, this will help you, and you can use such tactics that may help the students to improvise. When we are talking about reading, one thing which is very prominent is speed of reading.
Yes.
Exactly at what pace and what speed we read. I have one interesting video, friends, for you. Have a look at the video and we will discuss about the video.
Hello, I recently realized that one of my projects in SourceForge has 34,000 downloads. I haven't really touched this project for about a year. When I opened it up and went over it, it was really, really buggy, and so now I'm working on it, and it seems that a lot of people like it, so definitely going to make it a bit better than it is. And so here is the newer version, SpeedReader Enhanced 3, and what this program does is it flickers text in front of you at a pace that you are uncomfortable with in an attempt to eliminate subvocalization when you're reading. This will increase your comprehension time and your overall reading speed, and you'll have a lot of programs like this, but I couldn't find anything that's just simple like this. They're all very busy looking and had all these different results, like all these different training courses and stuff. And I was just like, it's got to be simpler than this. So basically, you can paste or load PDF files or text files into this text box. All the text in this text box is what will be displayed on the reader form, which is the speed reader form. And you can pick your fonts, your colors, and full screen. Retarding enabled will slow down the speeder when it comes across commas, periods, and large words with the dashes in them. And then you've got clean up PDFs. So I've got regular expression patterns in place to analyze PDF parsed text just to make it look nicer. So in the table of contents, you might have several periods or several periods with spaces in them, and I have a regular expression pattern to just deduce it to three periods, and we'll do that for any extended period of periods. And so I also am reducing multiple punctuation, other multiple punctuation like exclamation marks and question marks. It just doesn't look right, and it's not very easy to read, and it's unnecessary, so I deduce it to one question mark or exclamation mark. I also have patterns in place to get rid of the excess page numbers, chapter numbers, and stuff like that when you'll see on every page. I'm also bringing bullets next to the words so that when it's parsed, it's not going to be on its own, displayed as its own word. And then, of course, I'm going to be cleaning out some foreign symbols that you would commonly see in parsed PDF text. And of course, for saving this to text file sakes, I reduced all of the spaces, so excessive new lines and any kind of spacing character. It's just going to be reduced to one character, and it just looks a bit better when you're scrolling through it in a text file or another reading program. I recently replaced the text box with a rich text box, and the old text box, of course, you can't load large files into the text box. It's not built to handle that many characters, so I went ahead, changed it to rich text box, and it fixed this problem. So I've got an option down here, combine small words. You can combine two small words to a certain extent. Well, if you put this up to 10, then it will combine larger words. So if both of the words are collectively 9 characters, and then the last character will be a space, then it will combine it. So let's take a look. So here's the spreader form in non-full screen. So you notice that it's combining words wherever it can. And you can press the right and left arrow to increase or decrease the spreading speed. It's actually pausing quite a bit on those triple periods there. Probably just going to try to override that somehow. So right now it's going through the table of contents, so I'm just going to press space, and we're going to scroll to somewhere else in the text, and then press space again to start it. We can press Control F to enter full screen. So that's quite fast, and when I press exit to exit full screen and then exit again to exit the form, you'll notice that I have my word interval set to 72, and I was trying to read at 833 words per minute, and that's way too fast for me, but I'm sure somebody can do it. A good threshold for minimum characters here is 7. So if there are two words that are 3 letters long and they're right next to each other, they'll be combined into one word and displayed to you like that. If you want to back up your parsed text, you can save as text file and just save it as a text file for later. Really, this text in this text box here will be restored on the next startup. In the application directory, I'm saving this text to a text file so that it can be loaded again. So you can clear all of the text here just with clear all. I don't really plan on reading all of these ebooks here. They're just for testing the program, really. So I'm going to open up something small. That's not quite small. It's 428 pages, but it's small in relation to the other ones. On Windows 7 in Vista, this program will effectively disable the screensaver as soon as you open up the spreader form. I'm going to go ahead and give it kind of an old scripture look, so let's pick a back color. And the text color. I'm going to pick a font, so there's Bookman Antiqua. It's a pretty decent font. We'll show the reader. There you've got your old scripture kind of look. Basically just press any key to start and stop the spreeder. Any key other than Control and Control F and the left and right arrows. That's about it for this program. See you later.
Friends, you have seen that there are different paces and different speeds of reading. Now, another question which comes to my mind is,
Yes.
then they talk about superhuman, which can read at a marvelous speed. But it is not possible that all of us can be superhumans.
Yes.
But at least we can increase our speed of writing, or we can improvise upon the speed at which we read. So what I want to ask you, sir, is how to improve reading speed of the learners?
Yes, that's again really good question. That I observe that there are two major problems in speed reading process. Number
Sure.
one is fixation, another is regression.
Mhm.
Now, what is fixation? During the process of reading, our eyes come to rest at point. This is known as fixation. While regression means during the process of reading, the reader supposed to come to the particular word to understand the meaning again and again. He comes or she comes to the particular word. Both the problems create hindrance in the process of speed reading.
True.
And in my module, I have talked about two important softwares. Number one is zapreader.com, another is speedreader.com.
I guess these softwares will help them increase their speed.
Yes.
Okay. So, friends, you can have access to such softwares which can help you. And there may be some other ways, very, very simple ways through which you can increase the speed of your reading, or you can improvise upon reading. Like you can try to read aloud at some time. You can try to read faster than what exactly your speed is. And there may be many tactics which you can work out in the classroom. I don't want to go in much detail about the tactics at present, but I guess this softwares and such other tactics may help you for improving your reading. Another question which comes to my mind at present is, what are the major challenges to the teachers in teaching reading? When you exactly teach
Yes,
reading,
yes.
exactly what happens in classroom, generally we teach writing and
Yes.
we focus too much on writing.
That's
But
true.
exactly when we focus on reading and teaching reading, what are the problems which comes to a teacher?
Yes.
Sir,
Again, this is really good question.
sir.
That teachers are not having authentic material. That is the first problem that I face as a teacher
True, sir.
and researcher. Number two is less researches are available in the field of receptive skills, listening and reading. And that is also the reason that teachers are unable to get authentic material on the same topics. Number three, I observe the learners are less motivated, and that's why the teachers are unable to deliver the topic in a proper way.
True. It is found that many a time person is reading something what is written, but exactly they don't read what is written, but they assume something and then they read. That means they make mistakes while reading. So at this level, friends, we can give them some practice where they can read something and at the same time they can record it. So what can happen is nowadays, as all of you know, mobile is very handily available. So what can be done is they can be given an exercise, our students can be given an exercise or an activity where they can be given an exercise to read a page. They can read a page and at the same time they can audio record whatever they are reading.
Okay.
And even after it is done, they can stop it and they can listen to what they have read aloud, and then they can listen to exactly, and at the same time they can read again that passage, so they can understand that while reading what they skip. I'm talking about aloud reading. So this also can help them in developing or in improving various skills. So because they read, that is one. At the same time, they read aloud, so they speak, and then they will listen to it, and then they will try to look at reading again that exactly what happened. So multiple skills will be practiced at the same time. For improving reading, we go for various exercises where out of the paragraph, we ask several things to them. Maybe we can ask them some questions, or maybe we can ask them to go for some activities. They read something, and then based on the reading, they can try to understand exactly what was there available in that paragraph or something, or whatever material was given to them as a reading. At the same time, friends, when we talk about reading, don't misunderstand reading as just reading characters. Reading is also a reading where people read graph, people read chart, and people read various kind of information which is provided. And we have seen that we test these things in exams at various level. So when friends you go for teaching reading, try to go for different kind of devices of reading which can help them in a better way. I am really thankful to Dr. Raval for his scholarly deliberation on teaching reading, and he has given us a lot of activities, he has given us a lot of links, and he has shown us various websites, videos, and it is really a very rich material which will be helpful to all of us for improving our skill of teaching reading. I thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.